And welcome to another stream for the match day 15. Almost at the halfway point of the year already. Time goes by so very fast. I am with my special good friend and the leader of the challenge, Meter, Matt. Matt, how are you doing today?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to win another week, like I won all the rest.
Yeah, getting lucky. Okay, very good. Well, you know what? I could say this either way. Well, Matt, you're always a winner when you eat with HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a great sponsor of the stream this week, or the video this week here. I will get into the sponsorship right now. Thank you again, HelloFresh, for sponsoring the video this week. If you guys are interested in get your $16.76 box, the link is down below. HelloFresh, thank you again for sponsoring the stream. All right, Matt, let's get all your loser picks and all my winner picks in for this week. Game 1, number 1, Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. It's pretty close, actually. 37% of people think Brentford's going to win to 35%. Nottingham's going to win. You have Brentford coming off a draw last week. It was an okay draw. And, of course, Nottingham coming off a big loss against Arsenal. You got 11th place Brentford, 20th place Nottingham Forest. Matt, who do you have?
Alright, so I just want to say, my picks can't all be loser picks, and your picks all winner picks, if we share any of our picks.
No, I still
just
win.
For the record.
No, still win, because I'll get the tiebreaker.
Sure, you can believe that, but that hasn't helped you up to this point. I think, regardless of their last result, I think Brentford, drew with a team that's been pretty poor and definitely should have won, and Nottingham Forest got embarrassed by a team that's much better than them. I actually am kind of with the 28% of people who voted here, and I think this one's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, just like Brentford had last week. I think they're each going to score a goal. It's going to be pretty cagey. Forest is going to have the fans. They're going to be, rocking, but they'll get a goal. They'll be pressing, and then one will come back, and the wind will be taken out of their sails, and then they're going to stumble. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, Brentford is not good away. They actually play very poor when they play away. I think it's the size of the fields that are out there. But the problem with it is, this is a team that has come from the division below, so their field isn't that good either. So I have the stronger team, Brentford, coming in. I also think this is where Tony secures his spot to the English team in this game. I think Tony's going to score the 2 goals. And Nottingham Forest is going to get 1. And I do think Nottingham Forest I agree with you, Nottingham Forest is going to get 1 early. And then Brentford's going to come back, and they're going to win the game. So I have it as a 2-1 win for Nottingham Forest on that one. So,
okay.
Good luck to you. On to the next game. We have Wolves versus Brighton. Brighton has a 43% chance of winning, people are thinking, and 20% of the people think Wolves are winning. 29% draw, so you actually have it more of a theory that it's going to be their draw or a Brighton win than Wolves win. And that's actually higher than, I would say, the probability of what the fans have. Brighton come off a huge win, 4-1 over Chelsea. And Wolves come off a draw, which I would say was a legit draw. Down in 19th place, though, Wolves are going to be, and Brighton are in 8th. Go ahead, Matt. What do you think?
All right. So I'm going to hit you with some quick insights before...
Knowledge, I like it.
Of the last 7 times these teams have met in the Premier League, Wolves have only lost 1. They've won 2 and had 4 draws. But Wolves were a lot better before, and Brighton have improved a lot. I think this same fixture last season, Brighton actually won it 3-0. And if they win again, it's an away game at the Molineux. They'll have won consecutive away league games against Wolves for the first time since 1991. So they'll be fired up. They got their manager. He's got them playing beautiful, flowing football. They're passing the ball around, playing well. I think they're going to win 2-0.
Brighton's going to win 2, or Wolves are going to win 2-0?
Brighton are going to win 2.
Okay. You said Wolves are going to win 2-0.
Even though I think Costa is not the thing that's going to help them, Wolves. But yeah, I think Wolves failed to score again. Brighton scores 2. It's enough. 2-0.
Okay. I think Brighton is being underestimated this season. I would agree. Even I am even one of those people actually that think Brighton were underestimated. I totally thought, yep, Brighton are gonna go up and do well, and then they're gonna drop. But with this new coach, there's no way. I think this new coach is way too offensive minded and really, really good. And I have it actually, because they're really offensive minded, that's going to be Brighton's going to win 3-0 over Wolves. And I think it's going to be just a pure domination. Wolves, of course, can't score. I'm sorry, they're not going to score, and they can't score. And I think Brighton's going to come in and try their best to dominate and try to get as many points up. And the reason why they want that is right now they only have a goal difference. They only have a goal difference of 4, and they need to get higher. Because if they can keep up with Man U, Chelsea, get a little bit higher over Liverpool even, and they can score as many goals as possible, they can jump all of them on the tiebreaker. So I think it's going to be that, and it's going to be a 3-0 win going to Brighton. All right, on to the next game. We have as Man City versus Fulham. In this game, we have Man City coming off a win, only 1-0, and Fulham coming off a draw. Close game, but it was still a draw. Man City, of course, is way up on the top in second place, and Fulham is in 7th. They have a probability of win of 5%. That is pure dominance, and 86% of Man City. Matt, what do you think it's going to be?
Fulham have not beat City in the last 14 times they've met in the Premier League, with the last time they won being at the Etihad in April of 2009. I think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to score a goal. Maybe not the first goal.
Okay.
But I think Fulham will score this game, which, I think if they can manage that, they'll be happy. But I think they're going to struggle on the defensive end. I think City's going to score 3. Last week, I had estimated a lot more goals for City. Haaland got hurt in the midweek. He definitely was missed. So depending on if he's fit, it could be 3, it could be 2, it could be 4. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay.
They have other players who can score. It's just they've almost begun to rely on him a bit, I think. And he's filled a lot of their deficiencies in scoring from last year.
Yeah.
But they still can score. It's just not as prolifically, of course. But,
okay.
What's your thoughts?
I think Man City's going to have Haaland back. I think it's going to be one of those big dominating games. And I think I think also Fulham's going to come in and get a squeaker, just to try to get in. But I have it as also 3-1. That's the game. So I will use my tiebreaker, and I'm going to do something very odd.
Okay.
I will say my 2-pointer is going to be Haaland's not going to score a goal in this.
Oh.
Because I think that is worth 2 points, not even 1 goal. And I think my 4-pointer, which means that I have to get both of these things correct to have it, is that Haaland's not going to score, and De Bruyne doesn't score either. Both of those guys cannot score a goal.
Okay.
And I'll use that as my other 2-pointer. And what is your thing?
So I think That's a good idea here. I think for my kind of like lower odds prediction, I think let's say I'm gonna say a midfielder scores for Manchester City.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Yeah, I'll give you +2 on that one.
So like either Gundogan, De Bruyne, depending on how they play them, right? Like sometimes Bernardo Silva, sometimes like someone in midfield, like center mid or attacking mid, basically. So I think it's gonna score.
Okay, so I'll say this: I'll give you 1 if a midfielder at all scores. I'll give you 2 if it's not De Bruyne.
Okay.
Because De Bruyne is one of their best scorers too. So
and he usually scores. Actually, you know what? I take it back.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my bigger one.
Okay.
City scores.
Okay.
A defender is gonna score from a corner for City.
Oh my God, that is huge. I will give you that too.
4 points?
No.
Not just from a free kick, but from a corner.
No, because they can get a stupid header at the last second. It could be a
it's
draw
not easy,
game,
though.
and then they get it from a header. I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3. Okay. I'm gonna give you 3 on that one for a defender goal from a set piece.
Okay. From any set piece?
Yeah, I'll go any set piece. That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, so 1 if a midfielder scores.
Yep.
3 if a defender scores from a set piece. Okay.
So bad, but okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
And we had the same score for this game, right?
Yeah, so that's why I'm okay with it. Next game, Leeds versus Bournemouth. Leeds has a 55% chance people think of winning to the 21% chance that Bournemouth are going to win. They think it's actually going to be a better chance if there's a draw than there is going to be a Bournemouth win. These guys are right next to each other in the standings, 14th and 15th. Leeds have a huge win, and I think that's where the variance is happening to gain it up. Leeds have a huge win last week against Liverpool. Bournemouth, a terrible loss against Arsenal. Heartbreaker loss on that one.
Against Spurs.
Was it Spurs? Excuse me.
They lost to Spurs.
They lost to Spurs. Okay. Matt, what do you think is going to happen?
I think a lot of people are kind of the same mind that it's at Elland Road. So Team America has the advantage, as you say. Again, a team that is very loosely connected to America, but you know we'll
they
get
got the coach.
Yeah, an American coach and an American player.
Yep. It's got Team America done.
But I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw, which I think is bold because Bournemouth doesn't score 2 that often. They did last week.
Yeah.
But in this campaign, they've only scored 12 goals in 13 matches, which is not so much, but there's justification behind it. Leeds has historically, like all year, they've been scoring goals and they've been conceding goals. That's kind of their pattern. They will switch off and allow goals at the worst possible time. And Bournemouth has showed that they can take opportunities, that take advantage of chances given. So I think they're going to score 2, but I think Leeds is going to score 2 as well. They might even score more, but my prediction is going to be 2-2.
Okay.
What's yours?
So I was actually thinking pre-game that yes, I agree with you that it was going to be 2 goals. I was like, or it was going to be a draw. I was like, yep, it's going to be a draw, but I thought it was going to be 1-1. I was like, man, it's going to be 1-1. Leeds is going to come in and then, somewhat trip over themselves and only score a goal. Bournemouth's going to do their thing. But then I remembered, Leeds, after a big game, do pretty well. And they're at home. So their crowd is going to be riled up for a win. They're going to know it's against Bournemouth, so it's a potential win game. Leeds is very, very good. Very good when it comes to facing teams that are in their division, or in their section, they're the bottom half, and teams that they know that they could beat. Yeah, they've been on a trip, but I think now that they got that confidence, like, okay guys, we can win a game. We can take it to any team. I have Leeds winning it, but I only have Leeds winning it 2-1. I think it is going to be a late winner because Leeds is about late winners. So I have it as a 2-1 win to Leeds.
Sure. I will remind you that after their last big win of the season, 3-0 over Chelsea, they went into Brighton and lost.
Yep.
And then they played Everton at home and drew. So they
True.
And they've had some pretty shocking games like against Brentford, but they're a different team now. Sure, they have had time to figure out whatever's wrong. They've got some momentum. Again, it's a home game. You're right. So anything could happen.
So
I don't know.
So my words were, after a big game, coming off and finding a team that they should beat after that. See, that was the key. Should beat, and a team in their bottom half.
Who should they beat? Because
well, it wasn't Brentford or Brighton. I mean, they use a Brighton.
Is Brighton a team that they should not beat?
They should be beat. They shouldn't beat Brighton. No way.
I recall at the beginning of the year you predicted Brighton to be in like 16th or something.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know such a thing. I actually thought Brighton was actually. I think I was one of the weird ones that said Brighton was going to go down. I can't remember. We'll actually have to take a look at that later on.
You can go to see that video on the channel as well.
Exactly. Next game, Everton versus Leicester City. Everton 40% chance of winning. Draw is going to be 28%. Leicester City 32%. You've Everton coming off a draw last week. Decent draw too. I still say that they shouldn't have gotten a draw, but decent draw on that one. Leicester City coming off a loss, unfortunately, but it was a heartfelt fight. Loss against Man City, so good on them. Leicester City's at 18th, but just only 1 point out of the bottom dwelling spot, and Everton's in 12th, but a win here for Leicester City and a big dominance in the game, and they can actually jump Everton on goal differential. Matt, what do you think?
I think that Everton's been kind of squeaking by for a lot of games this season. I think they've been good enough, and I think this is a game that they'll go into thinking, yeah, we can definitely win this game. It is at Goodison Park, which is, good for them. But kind of like the fan predictions, at least here, are going. It's kind of not exactly convincing, and I'm going to go with the upset this game. I think Leicester's going to come in. They need the points. They've got a bit of momentum. They've got some of their players getting some good game time, some good form. I think they're going to come in and win 2-1. I think it's going to be Leicester 2, Everton 1. Yeah. What's your thoughts here?
I think a lot of people are thinking, Leicester City are facing all some bad teams, and that's why they're getting the wins. And yeah, they went to Man City, but they didn't have Haaland, and so they're gonna get dominated and all this other stuff. I'm kind of with you though, honestly. I will go with the upset. Also, Leicester City's going to get this win. I think some of the players at Leicester City want to go to the World Cup, and they got to show themselves that they can prove that they can go to the World Cup. And I think Everton's going to go ahead, have their fans. They have wonderful fans in Everton, but they're going to have their fans there. They're going to be great. They're going to be doing great, doing everything they can to keep the crowd into it. But I think Leicester City's going to play well enough, and it's not a night game, so this makes it even better. And it's going to be a Leicester City 2-1 also. I do think that.
Okay.
I will say my big thing, and I think it's at least worth 2 on this one, that Jamie Vardy's going to get a goal. Because Jamie Vardy
scores. Two for that, because he doesn't always start even.
Nope, and he has only 1 goal the entire season. So I will say that. And for you, Matt, what is yours?
All right, I'm gonna go with a bit of a bold prediction here. I think Pickford's gonna save a penalty this game.
Whoo! You think Pickford's gonna slot his spot into the English World Cup spot?
I think he really wants to be the England's number 1, and I think he got it in him to save a penalty.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say this because if this was like the All-Star game in an American sport, in one of the Americans, let's say it's hockey even, you would of course take the goalie who has the best goals against average, right?
Yep.
That would be the person that would be the starter in the All-Star game. The thing is, Pickford isn't that. That's Pope. So
it's only 2 different though.
Yeah.
Considering how bad Everton has been, they've only conceded 12.
Yeah, I think that's why he's a good guy. And like I said, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Pickford first, Pope second, and then third will be
like Henderson.
I don't think Henderson's going to be third. I think it's going to be the guy from Arsenal. Their goalie.
Oh.
Will be number 3. But
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, thank you. And then I think Henderson will be 4th though. Other than that, Henderson will be 4th though. But yeah, that's what I think. So on to the next game. Yep, go ahead.
Before we go,
yeah.
How many points if Pickford saves a penalty?
I'll give you 3 on that one because that's a penalty, and he has to save it. So I'll give you 3 on that one. I mean, that's something. Onto a big game. A big game not only for you, but a big game for me too. It's gonna be great. Big game for me. We have Chelsea versus Arsenal. In this game, we have Chelsea 36% chance of winning. We have Arsenal 36% chance of winning. A draw 28%. That means it's basically pretty much deadlock in the middle. Actually, I think it is deadlock in the middle. Matt,
it is.
What do you think?
So I want to start off by clarifying that I'm pretty much a neutral at this point. Although I will say I detest Arsenal, so any team against Arsenal, we can cheer against.
Okay.
I will say the only reason why more people are predicting Chelsea to win perhaps than I would have expected is because A, it's a home game. B, I think Chelsea has a lot of fans across the world. I don't think they're that likely to win. They did win their midweek game in the Champions League though. But they've had to rotate a lot. They were shaken up last week by Brighton. This is going to be the game that kind of is like, okay, can you recover from a bad loss, or is that going to like destroy your form and your mentality and make you play even worse? Like that was not a game that they went in thinking we're going to have a really hard time. This is going to be a game that they're going to go in and think we're going to have a really hard time. And if they're already doubting themselves after last week, Kepa might still be hurt. They've been missing N'Golo Kante this whole season almost. Like he's been out, and he's one of their best midfielders, which I think hasn't been talked about a lot. He's kind of a quiet guy, right? He doesn't really show up a lot in the stats, but he makes such an impact. I think Chelsea's going to lose. I think it's going to be Arsenal 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I can talk a lot about how Arsenal's been great this season, but I don't want to say any good things about Arsenal, so I'm going to let you do that.
Arsenal is hit or miss. I'm going to just leave it out there. Arsenal is one of those teams that can be really dominant, but Arsenal is if there's one variable that changes with them, they're all out of whack. Rain happens, they draw to Southampton. They underestimate a teammate, they get another draw, or they get a loss, and they can't do that, especially on this big game. I
will point out though that they've beat Tottenham and they've beat Liverpool this year.
Yep. And that's where my next thing was though. Big games though, they step up. They really step up, even though they haven't faced all the teams up there yet. They have not. They haven't. They haven't faced Newcastle yet either. So they still have some big teams they have to face. But in this game, the way the form is, I think Arsenal's going to also win it, and I think that they're going to win it 3-1 also. I mean, I think you're just
third one or the same.
You're cheating off my paper. That's all you're doing. I know it is. I know that's what's going on. You're just cheating off my paper.
You let me pick first, so it's impossible for me to copy your picks. Maybe you're copying mine, so you don't get too far behind.
I mean, of course I am, but I still think you're cheating. My big one of the week here is going to
be I can't remember his name, but okay. I'm thinking, right. So my big thing is going to be, I think Odegaard is going to score a goal outside the box. And so I get 2 points out of this one. It'll be in the second half. That'll be my prediction.
Okay. It's got to be outside the box, though.
It's got to be outside the box. Yeah.
In the second half as well?
Yep. That'll be the 2 points, because Odegaard can score, whatever outside the box, like what. But I think that's at least worth 2 points.
Okay.
Okay. What do you have?
I think. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. Let me think here.
Okay.
I think that Mason Mount is gonna score.
Okay.
And that could happen. That could be a 1-pointer.
I'll give you 1 point.
But I think for 2 points, we'll say Mason Mount scores and Martinelli scores.
Wow. Okay.
So his Mount scores. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 2 for that then. I'll give you 2 for that. Mount and Martinelli have to both score. Okay, I'll give you that one. All right. Good. Like it, and like it. All right, on to the very next game. Aston Villa versus Man United. Man United comes off a 1-0 squeaker, and Aston Villa comes off a huge loss against Newcastle. 16th place Aston Villa is going to be it. If they lose this game, they could potentially be in the drop zone. Man U, if they win this game, they can jump over Newcastle because they got that game in hand. Man U is favored to win by at the 45%, and Aston Villa at 28% with the draw at 27%. Matt, what do you think?
I think, as sad as it makes me to say this, I think United are going to win. I think Villa hasn't shown us that much that they can go and play against big teams. It is at Villa Park. There's a chance. I think they're going to score a goal. It'll either be to tie it at 1 or to go up. But I think United is going to pull some magic in the second half. I think, either Bruno or what's their new guy again?
Hold on, I'll stop the recording. Hold on.
All right, so I think that either Bruno or Anthony or one of the other forwards, maybe even Ilanga, I think one of those guys is going to score, or 2 of those guys are going to score. They're going to. Sancho might come on. Rashford, they have a lot of skilled forwards, and I think they're going to pull them out in the second half and score some goals. Maybe even Ronaldo. We'll see, depending on how much he plays.
Okay.
But your thoughts?
What was your score?
Oh, 3-1 United.
3-1. Oh, beautiful. So good. The one game you didn't copy off of me. All right, we're gonna have a different score on that one. I think Man U is starting to get back into the groove again. Remember, they were in last place at one point in time this season, so they're getting back into the groove. But guess what? This will be the first game with Aston Villa's new coach coming to town, and he is scared, but at the same time he is ready to play.
Emery.
Yeah, this will be his first week that he'll play it up. The problem with this is Emery does not play well against Man United. Sorry.
Not when he managed Arsenal, and not now.
That's right. So that's where he's going to get hiccup, because he's going to be trying, like, I got to try this, what do I play, how am I going to do this, da-da-da-da. Man U will know how to play them, should know how to play them, and they're in good form. I don't think it's going to be a dominant fight, like you think 3 goals. I really don't. I only think it's going to be 2 goals. So it'll be Man U who's going to win this game 2-0. I don't think Aston Villa's going to win anything. They're, I don't know if their protocol for their goalie's back yet, but I don't believe he's going to be top notch. And I honestly, the way they were playing against Newcastle, it just does not look very well. So I will say it'll be Man U winning this game 2-0. On to the next game. We have Southampton versus Newcastle. Newcastle coming off a big win against the team that we just were talking about, Aston Villa, 4-1, big old win. And we have Southampton coming off a loss. This is a decent loss, but it was a loss nevertheless. Newcastle has a 50% chance of winning, with Southampton winning 24% and a draw 26%. Newcastle's in 4th, way up in the standings, but they have a game in hand, and most of the big teams there are up above, so that they try to get that win. And Southampton is, with a loss, could drop down in the below relegation zone because of goal difference even. Matt, what do you think?
So, Southampton are such a hard team to predict because they have had some really strong games this season, and they've also had some just horrible games. They kind of alternate, or at least they sprinkle the good games in every once in a while. I think this is going to be one of their better games comparatively.
Okay.
I think they're going to be strong for 20 to 25 minutes. Newcastle's going to get that 30-minute goal, 30-ish minute goal.
Yep.
But late in stoppage time, let's say, of the first half, Southampton's going to equalize. It's not going to be pretty. They'll get one in. But I do think they're still going to lose. I think it'll be 2-1 Newcastle.
Okay.
But I think Southampton's going to put up a fight. It's at home. It's at the St. Mary's. They got the crowd rolling. They're singing "Oh, when the Saints go marching in," you know.
Yep.
Yeah, but Newcastle's been really strong, and I think they're gonna keep on that roll. So I'm sure you have some other thoughts though.
Yeah, Newcastle's gonna come into this game on a high. I mean, they've been on a incredible winning streak, beating big teams and beating the low teams too, like blowing out low teams and then either drawing or beating the big teams. And they're just playing fantastic, and they want their team is on top form, as they like to call it, where if it comes down to it, if teams are exactly equal, Newcastle has a +2 on their abilities, on everything, because of just the form that they're in. So
yeah, they're feeling good. They're rolling on all cylinders.
Yep, and all the teams coming in, and the big thing, St. Maximin, this will be his first game, I believe.
Back?
I think this is because they did play him against Aston Villa to check to see how his hamstring would be. They came in the 80th minute, and so I think he'll be back. And you just put in a huge guy to put into this game, and I don't think Southampton has it. Now it is in the Saints place, and yes, Newcastle has lost before in St. Mary's, so they have lost before. But usually St. Mary's plays awesome at night. They play great at a home night game. Even against the big teams, they always play great. This is a day game. This is 9 a.m. in the morning. And so these guys are going to be tired. Yes, 9 a.m. in the morning in America. But still, it's going to be tired. They're going to be like, oh no. But I think it's going to be Newcastle winning it 3-0. Newcastle is the best defense in the league. They have the lowest amount of goals against, even lower than Man City and Arsenal. So I think it's going to be a tight game on defense. I just don't think they're going to allow many shots on net. Pope's going to be able to save any of the other shots that do come on net, and I think it'll be 3-0.
Okay.
On to the next game, West Ham versus Crystal Palace. It's going to be in West Ham, and I believe West Ham didn't have a game in the Europa League coming from this. You have West Ham coming off a big disappointing loss because they could have drawn it. But great job by Man United on doing that. Crystal Palace came off a 1-0 win. Big one, and they needed that because with a draw or a loss, they could have been slipping down a little bit down the standings. Matt, what do you think?
I actually will say West Ham did have a Europa Conference League game on Thursday.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They beat FCSB from Romania 3-0.
Okay.
So they're feeling good, but they've had to do some rotation, which always matters. I think they're going to have the boon of the home crowd, though. They're not going to be happy with how they played last game against United. They had lots of chances to win that game, and they couldn't do it. Because of that, I think West Ham are going to win. they're going to win by 2-0. I think Skamaka's going to score.
Okay.
Not for any bonus points. I like the guy. I think he's been playing really well.
Okay.
And their defense is going to play very well. They're going to have the whole roaring London Stadium behind them, and it's going to be a good performance. Crystal Palace is going to struggle because they want to be in the top half, and if they lose, they could drop really quick because all the teams behind them are 2, 3, 4 points behind. So they'll be wanting the points, but I think West Ham's going to be the better team on the day.
Okay.
What about you?
So I didn't know there was a Europa League game that had been played, and I thought honestly they'd come off fresh. I probably would have gave this game honestly to Crystal Palace based on that, but I actually had the game as a draw. I think West Ham just doesn't play well. Crystal Palace has a chance to play very well, and they're slipping. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but they slip. And they let teams back into games. And I think it's going to be Crystal Palace up 1-0 late, and then West Ham's going to score. It's going to be like Declan Rice is going to score or something and going to draw the game late. And West Ham has only now been able to even score goals. Remember, at one point in time, they couldn't even score goals. And if you look, though, Crystal Palace can score goals. But in the last 3 games, they haven't been able to score goals at all. 3 or 4 games, they haven't been able to score goals at all. So this is going to be one of those low scoring games where both teams can't score, or they'll try to score, and it's going to be a draw, though. It's going to be 1-1. Leave it up to that, and a draw.
Okay.
On to the next game. And the last game of the week, and probably one of the biggest games of the week, too. Tottenham versus Liverpool. They have it as 45% winning against Liverpool, and Tottenham is 28% predicted to win. Draw 26%. Tottenham, 3rd place, coming off a big win, a win that they were down, against Bournemouth, coming back, getting that big win, keeping 3rd place because of that. Liverpool, coming off a huge loss again, back-to-back losses. Klopp has not lost 3 games in a series while being at Liverpool ever. So he's going to be coming off of that. They're in 9th place, still have a game in hand, above Tottenham on that. Matt, what do you think?
I got a fun stat for you to start it off.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
There are only 2 teams in the league who have conceded the first goal more often than Liverpool. In 8 of their games so far this year, and they've played 12 games, Liverpool has conceded the first goal. Only Southampton and West Ham, with 9, have conceded the first goal more times.
Oh, wow.
And Liverpool has already lost twice the amount of games they lost all of last year. But I think this is an opportunity for them. Spurs have some injuries that they're dealing with. They also played in midweek. They had an extra time winner. They're on good form, I'll say, in terms of results. But I don't think the Tottenham players are feeling like they've played particularly well. So this is going to be a game where, if Liverpool can play to the height and the level that they have been able to play in the past, that they can definitely win and get a result here. It really depends who shows up, and it is at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I don't know if that helps them that much. Tottenham at home and away have been kind of not that different this year, and Liverpool have lost or drew a few games at home, and they've dropped more points at home than they'd like to. But I'm gonna go with a Liverpool win here. I think the table is gonna get more spicy, more interesting. I think if Liverpool wins and Fulham loses, Liverpool jumps to 7th.
Yep.
And Tottenham loses, they could theoretically drop down to 4th. I don't think United can catch them because of the goal differential.
Yeah.
Unless they lose by a lot and United wins by a lot. 4-4, basically, or 4-5. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 Liverpool. I think it's going to be tight. Okay. They had a chance against Arsenal earlier in the year. They lost. I think they're going to be looking to beat Tottenham this time. Yeah, that's it for me. What's your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing. It's a night game. It's in Tottenham. Those are two big things. Liverpool, of course, has not lost 3 games with Klopp. I just said that. So, yep. So this was the big thing that I think Matt and I both were saying, like, this is a game that we sat here for like 10 minutes going, I don't know who was going to win. Like, we were debating on it so much. The biggest thing, though, I think that tilted the scale for me is Tottenham had not lost a game this entire year at their home stadium. And I don't think it's since it's last year also, or within a calendar year, hadn't lost until Newcastle came in and beat them in a close game. And I think that's where Tottenham's going to come in and they're going to be like, listen guys, we can't let any team beat us. I don't care if it's Liverpool. If we got to get a draw, we'll get a draw if we have to. Tottenham plays great, and the big tilt, because I was like, I still don't know if I think it's a night game. I'm telling you, Tottenham comes to play at the night games. I don't know why, but they're two big things. They're at home, and it's night. That's the only reason I'm getting the win on those ones. I think Liverpool doesn't play well, or is in bad form right now, and I would have probably given this a draw. Maybe I'll give Liverpool a win on that one, but I got Tottenham winning this game. Still close also. It'll be 2-1 though. 2-1 Tottenham.
Okay.
Yep. So, thank you again, Matt, for the match day 15 predictions. I believe you're going to lose every game. Even the games that we haven't...
You're going to lose a lot then.
Yeah. No, you know what? That last game, Tottenham-Liverpool, it doesn't matter. It's a win-win for me either way. Either I get it wrong, you get it right, but guess what? I move up to 3rd place, or I get it right, and I guess I get 3 points on that one, or a point or whatever. I get a point, and I get closer to beating you. Either way, I'm beating somebody. So, thank you, Matt, again. I hope everybody has a beautiful week. Don't forget, if you guys want to get a box of a wonderful HelloFresh meal sent to your home, the first box that I can send to you, HelloFresh gave us a promo code. I'll give you guys a $16 box for your first box. Cancel anytime if you like. The link is in the description down below. Thank you again. Thank you, Matt. Have a good night, and goodbye, guys.